What a great question. I remember 1997, I got the opportunity to hear a man named Roger Sitkins speak for the first time, and he changed my life. He told me about this little-known Italian economist who had an agrarian philosophy called the Pareto principle. It was named after himself. Other people have heard of it called the 80-20 rule. And what Roger said was that invariably in any business, any agent's book of business, 80% of his revenue, commissions, came from 20% of his customers. He challenged us to go and figure out if that were true and get rid of the bottom 80% of our customers, keep the top 80% of our revenue. So on January 3rd, 1997, I printed my commission statement. I ran down to 80% of my total. I drew a red line across the bottom, and with a pair of scissors, I cut the page in half. I took the bottom part of the page, gave it to somebody else, and said, I never want to see these people again. They're now your customers. And so I always love to ask the question to people how long they think it took me to make that money back. It took me until February 13th. I've been doing that every year in my business ever since then. And it's the #1 secret to building a really large book of business, by continually upselling yourself and focusing on growing through focusing on the people who pay you the most money. So it's addition by subtraction. It's growing your business by eliminating the customers who don't pay you very much. They're probably wonderful clients or customers for someone else, but your people in the future are going to be bigger always. Oh, it's absolutely true. I remember in January and February, after I had made that decision, my phone quit ringing. And I didn't have a lot to do for a little bit. Actually, it was really uncomfortable because we're all creatures of habits. And I was being driven to mediocrity by my mediocre habits. And it was very, very tempting to run back to those for a while. But I persevered, and pretty soon I found that I was busy again. But now I was busy talking to people who were paying me a whole lot more money and who I enjoyed more because the level of the relationship was better. Well, it is about focus. And in fact, even in your agency, it's about giving other people a great opportunity to pursue their own gifts. So the people that I no longer took care of, I used to seed a new producer's business to help him get started. And I encouraged him then to do something just like I had done after a couple of years in the business. Dan Sullivan's business, The Strategic Coach, has a concept called unique ability, and it's the idea that all of us do one or two things really, really well. We do a few other things well, and there's a lot of things we don't do well at all. And when you sit down and you figure out, okay, this is the thing that I'm gifted at. It's the thing that really drives the income that I make, the success that I have, the happiness that I enjoy. And you realize that you're only spending 10 or 20% of your time doing that, and the rest of your time doing other things that maybe someone else could do because they love doing them. And making that change, it's fascinating what happens. Your personal growth as well as your financial growth just absolutely skyrocket. The 80-20 principle applies in your personal life and in your relationships in every other way, just as it does with your money.